John Legend versus real estate agents. This is the Get Your Ass to Work podcast, and today we are talking about singer John Legend. If you don't know who he is a singer, American singer, songwriter, producer who has had some really popular music over the last 2 decades. He has taken a shot at real estate agents via Twitter. Here was what he said. Real problem. Realtors don't show black people all the properties they qualify for. Fake problem. Calling the master bedroom the master bedroom. Fix the real problem, realtors. All right, so basically this came about because the Board of Realtors in the city of Austin has said that they are going to remove the word master from their listings of descriptions of properties. John Legend comes out and says, that's not a real problem. That's a fake problem. The real problem is realtors aren't showing black people all the properties they qualify for. All right. I'm gonna take this to the gutter. I'm going right for the lowest road possible on this one. Johnny, Mr. Legend, you are giving real estate agents way too much credit that they are doing so well in real estate that they're going to choose not to show black people all the properties that they qualify for. Here's the truth. Most real estate agents, on average, this is the average real estate agent, may sell 7 homes a year. And with the average sales price around the United States and commission somewhere around $7,000 and you're selling 7 properties a year, you're making about $49,000 before your broker gets probably 20 to 30% of that, bringing you down to maybe $30,000 to $35,000. That's before you pay taxes. John, Mr. Legend, most real estate agents are part-time. Most real estate agents are barely making enough money to survive in real estate, as if they're not at all. So they probably have another person that is, paying for them to be a real estate agent while they work another job or they go to school. Most real estate agents do not make enough money to just decide that they are not going to work with certain people. Most real estate agents are so hungry for a paycheck. The last thing on their mind is not showing people properties on what they qualify for based on the color of their skin. Let me tell you, real estate agents don't give a shit who has money to buy a property. If you have a heartbeat, if you have a pulse, and you have a pre-qualification letter, real estate agents are going to be chewing their own arm off to try to show you a property, no matter if you're white, black, straight, gay, male, female, trans, queer, whatever you want to call it, whatever protected class, you, Army veteran, disability, you need a guide dog, whatever it is, people, these real estate agents want to show you a property and get a paycheck. Taking the lowest road possible, this statement is bullshit because I know for a fact real estate agents need a paycheck so bad they don't care where it comes from. They are going to get you into the house even if they are putting you into a bad financial situation, trying to do some 100% down financing, doing whatever they can do to get you into the property. That is closer to the reality than realtors just not showing black people properties, all the properties that they qualify for. So let me take the medium road here. All right, we're off the lowest road possible, which is that's bullshit because basically realtors, they just need to make a fucking paycheck. They don't care what the color of your skin is. If you got a heartbeat and you got money in your bank account, realtors are taking you out to a property and finding you a home. Bottom line, case closed, that's done. All right, I'm not saying this has never happened before. I'm not saying it may not happen, but that's not the real problem with real estate. We'll talk about what the real problems are with real estate in just a minute. Let me take the medium road here. The medium road, not the lowest road, but the medium road on this issue, for the most part, is that the truth is most real estate agents are so afraid of their own shadow in doing something wrong. If they think there's even the possibility of getting some sort of ethics complaint, or they see someone else doing something that they think is an ethics complaint, realtors are ratting each other out left and right over things much less down the totem pole than not showing people properties based on their race. Realtors are ratting each other out for things like having the wrong zip code number in the multiple listing service. Realtors are ratting each other out for stealing a picture off the internet that they didn't pay for and putting it out onto the MLS. Realtors are ratting each other out for things so minuscule that if there actually was a problem within a brokerage of real estate agents not showing people properties based on the color of their skin, that shit would get wrapped up so fucking fast. It would be complained about so many times, so fast, that this complaint here of realtors not showing black people properties does not make the list of the most common enforcement violations that realtors are most commonly breaking. It is not what is happening out there. So here is a little bit of enforcement on top of that. This does happen, and I have had these phone calls where I can't prove it 100%, but the board does call real estate agents and probe them and try to get them to steer people in a certain direction. There actually is enforcement out there against this type of thing going on with real estate agents, where you get a fake buyer calling you who's actually some sort of enforcement agent, officer from the Department of Real Estate, just trying to see if you will try to steer them, and they will probe you, asking specific questions, trying to see if you will steer somebody in one direction or another based on what you think is the right price for them or the right neighborhood for that person. And they'll ask questions about schools, and they will do this trying to catch realtors. They'll try to snare your ass up. If you're not meeting their standards and their expectations, then you will get snared up in those weird types of questions where they're fishing for real estate agents to screw up. And this is really out there. This is what's actually happening. Now, taking the high road on this one, if there is a high road, we already took the low road. Real estate agents, look, they just can't afford to not show people properties based on their race for the most part. Can't afford to not do this. Look, on the high road, real estate agents, they want to help people. That's just the bottom line. I'm around real estate agents all day long. They will do anything for a sale. Literally. They want to help every single person they can, and to pump up their ego, to pump up their bank accounts, to help somebody out and try to feel good about it and post it on Facebook. Like, there are so many other things that real estate agents want to do besides not show some people properties based on their race because this real estate agent thinks that they don't belong in a certain neighborhood. Again, I'm not saying this hasn't happened, and I'm not saying that it doesn't happen here or there, but that's not the real problem in real estate. Let's talk about what the real problem in real estate is, Mr. John Legend. The real problems of real estate is that it's too easy to get a real estate license. They give them away in fucking Cracker Jack boxes. Anybody who breathes and has a pulse and is able to walk themselves into the testing facility can basically get a real estate license. It is not hard. Some people can do it in a month. And what you learn in real estate school does not apply to the real world of real estate whatsoever. So you come out with your license with absolutely zero training. At least when you go to get your driver's license, you have to be able to operate the car, and you have to physically demonstrate that you have control of a vehicle for at least 5 minutes while the DMV takes you around. In real estate, you don't have to show that you have control of anything, including yourself, because the second biggest problem to me in real estate is the lack of professionalism. There is absolutely no professionalism in real estate because you've got a bunch of people who easily get their real estate license, who probably just want time freedom. They show up late for their showings. They can't make appointments. They show your home and they leave doors and they leave windows open. They leave the AC on when the house is vacant and it's 90 degrees out and you get a bill, Mr. Home Seller, because real estate agent who was at your house turned the air on while he was doing the showing and just decided to not check the house before he left your front door wide open and your AC on. That is the type of stuff that's happening. That is a real problem in real estate. The lack of training is the biggest problem in real estate. So Mr. John, Mr. Legend, as he walked back his argument, later on he did another tweet walking back his argument saying this: me saying this is a real problem doesn't mean that you, offended real estate agent, do it. It doesn't mean 100% of you do it. It means it's widespread and well documented enough to be an actual issue. As my grandfather pastor used to say, I'm not talking about you unless it's you. That's exactly what he wrote. And so, look, he walks back his bullshit statement later, saying that the real problem is that realtors, he just likes to throw out this big general term, realtors don't show properties, blah, 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 blah. Now he's walking it back like a bitch, saying that, well, this doesn't mean that you, offended real estate agent, like, you know, he got enough pushback from realtors across the country saying, hey, you know what, John, fuck you. That is some bullshit, because it is bullshit. It's total bullshit. He got enough pushback that a few days later, he's got to send out another tweet saying, oh, you offended real estate agent, like, oh, you real estate agents who were offended by that, I'm not talking to you, even though you shouldn't be offended. He's basically making fun of real estate agents here. He's saying that it's, you know, his problem's widespread and documented enough that's an actual issue. No, the actual issue, if you're looking to buy a home, isn't that you're not going to get all the properties shown to you. The actual issue is that the person who's representing you probably has less training than the person at Jiffy Lube changing the oil to your car. And that person is handling a $250,000, $500,000, $1 million transaction for you. And he has less training than somebody at McDonald's who is probably going to mishandle your food anyway. Real estate agents, when they get their license, probably have less than 10 hours of actual training for something that's can be extremely complicated, is probably extremely one of the highest, most litigious legal lawsuits, problems happening everywhere. They probably have less training than 10 hours. That is the real problem in real estate, Mr. Legend. Not that you're not going to get all of the properties shown to you based on your race. All right, to recap, Mr. Legend, real estate agents, they don't give a shit who you are or what you look like. If you have money and you want to see a house, there is like 10,000 real estate agents at any point in time that will chew their own arm off to show you a house. And nobody gives a damn what you look like, where you came from, how you got your money, if you inherited it, if your mommy left it to you, if somebody died and you got it, if you got it in a settlement from a fake injury in a car crash. Real estate agents don't give a shit. They give a shit about getting themselves a paycheck. That is a bigger problem, that they care more about their paycheck than the color of your skin. Trust me, that is a much bigger problem than this problem that you are proposing upon real estate agents. Okay. Number two, I would have to say that the lack of training and professionalism is more than likely going to get you into trouble. That is a bigger problem in real estate. There are many, many problems in real estate. The most common enforcement violations have to do with money being intertwined, like with property managers, people not keeping accurate records, especially when it comes to commingling funds, unlicensed activity violations, misrepresentation violations, people pretending there's nothing wrong with the house when there's something wrong with the house. that's a problem you want to really watch out for. Criminal conviction violations, people getting real estate licenses who are actually criminals. I mean, this stuff happens all the time and is a much bigger issue. That is a real problem in real estate. So, John, we're not discounting the fact that things have happened before, and I'm not saying things won't happen in the future. But if you're going to lay a blanket statement over all of real estate agents based on the fact that you feel you're complaining, which you're always complaining, Mr. John Legend. Every time I see you, it's a complaint about something. If your real complaint is that a problem in real estate is that black people aren't getting to see all of the properties that they qualify for, that is a fake problem, or a problem that is not the real problem in real estate, as much as you stated the fake problem is calling the master bedroom the master bedroom. I do agree that that is also a problem that isn't a real problem in real estate. And so you're asking us to fix the real problem, realtors. Fix the real problem. The real problems are that agents need better training. It needs to be way harder for real estate agents to get a license. And the lack of professionalism, well, without any discipline, then there really doesn't need to be any professionalism either, because all of the standards of professionalism just become a suggestion when they're not enforced. And there really is no enforcement in real estate for a lack of professionalism as far as people showing up on time, doing showings where you close and lock all the doors. There's really no repercussions for this kind of stuff. That is the real problem of real estate. If you want to argue with me on this point, go ahead. Maybe you live in a different part of the country. Maybe you see things happening today that I just don't see and I really don't hear about. And I'm pretty entrenched in the real estate community. I talk to real estate agents all over the country. This is the first time I've ever heard this come up as a recent or common complaint of something that is happening right now in the real estate industry. And I'm not going to just sit back and let our Mr. Favorite Person of the Year, John Legend, go ahead and just rip all of real estate agents based on what he sees as the problem, and then let him try to just walk it back and be like, no, it's actually, you can't be offended, realtors. It's just, if you're the one doing it, then you're the problem. But it's a real estate problem. Get fucked.